The next thing we're going to have a look at is our help menu. So let's just go up and pick on our question mark here up on the top, which is where help is located in most different softwares. So now they've gone to kind of a wiki form of the help menu, and I can't say as I'm a huge fan of it. However, we're going to deal with it accordingly. So what we're going to do is inside of here you can try to do a search, but quite often I find I'm not getting the information that I want. So what I do is I go right down here to the Revit help and click on there, and it goes into a little more of a browsing form. And inside of here I find the searching in here to be a little bit better at this point. But we're just going to pick on here and go to Revit help. And if we go down to Introduction to Revit, and here we go, User Interface. If you pick on there, they have a kind of an interesting little video inside of there that you can watch. So I would encourage you to have a look at that. And then it has a nice little pretty picture here of, the Revit screen and some of the parts. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. So there's our application pull down we talked about. The second thing we have here is the quick access toolbar. So inside of here we have number 2, and you can go down to the bottom here and pick on here, and it'll actually give you more information on that. So there's some hyperlinks inside of here. This is also called the QAT, quick access toolbar, and you can add tools to this if you want. So you can go on to any tool inside of here and right click and say add to quick access toolbar, and it's like a little palette. And if you pick on if you expand this and pick on the far right, you can move this quick access toolbar to be below the ribbon, which is this area inside of here. So this is handy for placing your own favorite tools on any tool. Rather than to go from tab to tab looking for your tools, you can either create a shortcut similar to an AutoCAD PGP file, or you can take this, right click, and then add it. You can't drag it, or I should say I don't think you can. I haven't tried it lately, but it is a right click, and then it'll take that particular tool, because otherwise they're buried on here and it can be cumbersome. Once again, you can go in and create shortcuts, and we'll do a lesson on that. So there's our quick access toolbar. Number 3 is our information center over here. So you can type in and use the seek tools to look for information, and there's some different settings and some help and favorites and stuff inside of there. And this is Autodesk's own little kind of info center. So if I just go over here, you can search for stuff in the Seek tools. You can go into the Subscription Center, Autodesk Communication Center, the Autodesk Favorites, 360, okay? And then if you want to, you can go in and do your Exchange apps as well. Then we have our help. So this is called the Info Center, which kind of sits up over there. And we'll just go back to here. Where was I? User interface, and so we've got the info center. Then after that we've got what is number 2 here, or number 4 is our options bar. So our options bar is inside of here, and this is constantly changing, so you have to really keep your eye on this. Depends on what you're doing inside of there. This is dynamically changing. Okay, and the ribbon is changing as well, and the properties are changing. This kind of stays static where your views are, but you'll notice as you're working, a lot of this stuff is altering depending on what it is you're doing. So it's kind of content specific. Okay, number 5 here is our types pull down. So you can go inside of here and your type selector, and you can, if you start the wall tool, you can say the wall types are based inside of here. Or if you start a duct or a pipe or a piece of equipment or anything you do, this is the different types of that, variations of that, whatever it is you're trying to draw. Okay. Number 6 is our properties palette, which when you start to draw, it gives you information about what it is you're drawing. And if you select objects, it also gives you information inside of here. So our properties palette, very handy for changing the information and having the objects update and vice versa. Next, we have our project browser, and this is where we click to get into our different views. We have 3D views and floor plans and sections and details. We have all of this stuff drawn wonderfully in 3D, and some of it is only in 2D. And this is the views where we slice and dice it, and we take these views and then we put them on our sheets to perform or create our construction document. So this is our project browser, and this is how we navigate through all of our different views. Number 8 is the status bar, which is about as close to a command line that Revit has. So this is a kind of a one-way feedback where Revit talks to you, and either if you aren't in a command and you hover over something, your status bar down here will tell you what it is that you're hovering over. So we use that all the time. Okay. And as you draw, you can read down here, and it'll also tell you what to do next. You can't input information here, but Revit kind of talks to you through this. So you're always glancing down here. Okay. Then we have our visibility control over here, and there's all kinds of goodies buried inside of here to turn on and off objects, to temporarily turn stuff on and off, 3D views and crop regions, rendering, shadows and lighting, visibility, whether you want it to be shaded or black and white, detail level, fine, medium, and coarse, and then of course you've got your scale factor. So all of these, we'll be dabbling with this off and on periodically. So this is our visibility control bar. That's number 9. Number 10 is the drawing area. Number 11 is the ribbon in general. So the drawing area is basically inside of here. So as you change your views, you'll see this in here. You can also tile your views. So you'll have little squares inside of here, and you can look at different views. And also it depends on how big your screen is, or if you have 2 screens, you can take these guys and drag them off to another screen, because this stuff you can pull it off and kind of push it back. Okay. So we have that, and then we have what is called the ribbon, which is really this whole area right inside of here. And the ribbon has tabs, these are the tabs. Okay, nothing new. Then we have down in here, you can see these are the panels. So this is a panel. Okay. And each panel has some tools, and some of the tools even have little flyouts. Look for these little flyouts everywhere. Okay, they're all over the place. So wherever you see a little flyout, just take note of it. Okay. In this drawing area, you have a minimize, a medium, and full screen, and an exit, which closes the view. Closing the view just closes the view and kind of takes it out of memory. Each time you open a view over here, it creates its own little window. So you can tile these windows, or you can have them one on top of the other, or you can cascade them. But each window inside of, you see up top here, we have our main Revit interface as far as the application goes. But these little guys are similar, but it's only per view. So each time you open a view here, each one of these views gets its own little set of maximize, mediumize, and exit, similar to here. And then of course you would have maybe one even above that, depending on how you have your windows set up. So those are all the different parts of the screen, and we will be dabbling with them off and on. And again, I encourage you to go in and maybe have a look at some more information in there. So that is the user interface part of it, and if that's all down inside of here under information in our help menu. So have a look, and we'll be using all of those different parts of the screen as we go through and learn how to use Revit MEP.